You've been searching for answers your whole life. Every question, every doubt, every random curiosity, it's all just a few clicks away. But have you ever stopped to think who really decides what you find? What if the internet had stayed messy, unreliable, and impossible to navigate? This is the story of two students who changed everything. It started with a simple idea, organizing the world's information, and turned into one of the most powerful companies in history. Larry Page and Sergey Brin met in 1995 at Stanford, and fun fact, they did not hit it off at first. Imagine two incredibly smart guys, both convinced they were the smartest person in the room, arguing over how the internet should work. Classic tech nerd meet cute. But instead of going their separate ways, they realized that their debates weren't just intellectual duels, they were actually onto something big. At the time, the internet was like a chaotic junk drawer, messy, unorganized, and full of irrelevant junk. Search engines ranked pages by how many times a keyword appeared, which meant searching for something useful was like panning for gold in a sewage pipe. Larry had an idea. What if search engines ranked pages based on how many other sites linked to them? Like academic citations. If more people reference a paper, it's probably important. He called it the PageRank algorithm. Yes, he named it after himself, and honestly, respect. Sergey, a data mining whiz, jumped on board, and together, they built a search engine called Backrub. Yes, that was its real name. Thankfully, they eventually rebranded to Google, which rolls off the tongue just a little better. Their little project started blowing up, so much so that Stanford servers couldn't handle it. But turning it into an actual business? That was another story. Investors weren't exactly lining up to fund a search engine. I mean, why invest in organizing the internet when you could put your money into something practical, like pet food delivery startups? Yes, that was a real dot-com bubble trend. Then, a game-changer Sun Microsystems co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim took one look at their demo and, without hesitation, wrote them a check for $100,000. That single investment turned Google into an official company in 1998, and suddenly, Larry and Sergey had a real shot at making their nerdy dream a reality. They set up shop in a rented garage, because of course, every tech empire has to start in a garage. Unlike other search engines cluttered with news, ads, and whatever passed for cool in the 90s, Google kept things minimal. Just a search box and a button that literally said, "I'm feeling lucky." And people loved it. Simple, fast, accurate. Suddenly, other search engines looked like those sketchy websites that promise a free iPhone but actually give your computer a virus. But there was still a problem. Google was great, but it wasn't profitable. At first, they resisted throwing ads all over the place like their competitors. Instead, in 2000, they created AdWords, tiny, relevant, text-based ads that only showed up when people searched for related topics. Even better, advertisers only paid when users actually clicked, a completely new concept at the time. Turns out, businesses loved the idea of only paying for ads that worked. Who knew? Google had cracked the code, and suddenly, they weren't just a search engine, they were a money-making monster. By 2004, Google was handling 200 million searches a day. That same year they went public, raising $1.67 billion in one of the biggest tech IPOs in history. Early employees became millionaires overnight, and Google solidified itself as the dominant force in search. But they weren't stopping at just search engines. Google didn't just grow, it expanded aggressively. They bought Keyhole Inc., which became Google Earth, launched Gmail, offering 1 gigabyte of free storage when other email services were still giving people megabytes. And in 2005, they made a move that would change the future of tech forever. They bought Android. Back then, smartphones weren't even a thing, but Larry and Sergey saw where the world was heading. Fast forward to today, and Android powers most of the world's phones. Not bad for a company that started with two guys bickering over search results. Then came YouTube. In 2006, Google dropped $1.65 billion to acquire a video sharing site that people weren't even sure would survive. Spoiler alert, it did. YouTube became the go-to platform for everything from cat videos to global news, raking in billions in ad revenue and making content creator an actual career path. Meanwhile, Google's company culture became legendary. Employees got free gourmet meals, nap pods, yes, nap pods, and 20% of their time to work on passion projects, which led to things like Google Maps and Google News. If your company doesn't let you take a nap at work, you might be at the wrong job. Of course, you don't become a trillion-dollar empire without a few bumps in the road. Google's dominance raised a lot of eyebrows. Regulators started asking, is this too much power? Antitrust lawsuits, privacy concerns, and accusations of stifling competition started piling up. In response, Google restructured in 2015, creating Alphabet Inc., a parent company that allowed them to expand beyond search and ads into AI, self-driving cars, Waymo, and smart home tech, Nest. Basically, Google was no longer just a search engine, it was an unstoppable tech empire shaping the future. So, what can entrepreneurs learn from Google's journey? First, big ideas win. Larry and Sergey didn't just improve search engines, they reinvented them. Second, rejection isn't the end. When no one wanted to buy their tech, they bet on themselves. And finally, timing is everything. They had the right idea at just the right time, and they ran with it. From a garage project to one of the most powerful companies in the world, Google's story proves that innovation, persistence, and a little bit of luck can change the world. Now, I'll leave you to discuss in the comments. What's the next big industry that's waiting for a Google moment? You can support us by subscribing if you haven't already. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I'll catch you soon in another video.